TIL that the Mayan people constructed the temples in a way that a hand clap at the base of the temple produces an echo that sounds like the call of the sacred Quetzal bird. For them the bird was a messenger of the gods. Also, during the spring equinox, when the sun's rays hit the pyramid, the resulting shadow shows a serpent. https:// imager.com/jf6hpdf jpg, slithering down the staircase. This symbolizes the serpent god Quetzal descending from the heavens. Just imagine being the contractors who had to redo the interior 500 times, and then wait for the priest to come in and clap and decide if it sounded right. For those who think the clap is nonsense, it does actually work and it's sorta weird. Sounds like the clap ricochets off the top. 218 on this video. https://youtube b/4b2ywam7rw. I'm trying to sneak around this Mayan temple, but I'm dummy to see, and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the gods. These Quetzals are making me thirsty. My dumb ass read hand clap as handicap, and proceeded to think the Mayans designed their temple with wheelchair accessibility. Probably will get buried, but Maya equals the people. Mayan equals the languages. I went to the pyramid in 2015. My husband was fascinated by it. He kept moving around and clapping. The sound of the bird sounds like it comes out of the serpent's mouth. The guide told us that when thousands of people were gathered there and clapping, it must have sounded like a real god was talking. There's also their arena area where they played the craziest game ever. https://en. Wikipedia.org/wiki/Mesoamerican_ball game, and in there the guide took us to the middle and kept going back and talking. We could hear him clearly as he kept stepping back further and further out. The Mayans were incredible when it came to amplifying sound. Also, it was not a fluke. They specifically designed it that way. The incredible difficulty of designing a temple to make a specific sound when you clap makes me think it was just a coincidence. I read handicap at first. I love how everybody assumes that the pyramid was designed that way by coincidence rather than on purpose. Like, come on dude, people from ancient civilizations aren't savages. A lot of the technique they used to build the pyramids will take a lot of effort to reproduce even in modern times. It isn't a stretch to think that while building the pyramids they realized that they could distort the echoes in a certain way, so they shaped it to mimic the bird's cry. Yet you all here are apparently have PhDs and super high IQ to somehow make some pretty silly assumptions. Highly recommend checking out Chichen Itza if you are ever in Cancun. I went with my family when I was a kid, and I remember even then thinking it was bullshit until I heard it. The history of the human sacrifices give the entire visit a very eerie vibe and piqued my morbid curiosity. What if they are talking about the Quetzalcoatlus, not the resplendent Quetzal? Nobody will ever know for sure if this was on purpose, but anyone here who thinks these people, especially the Olmecs, possibly, were primitive and just guessing, or slapped these structures together and managed to not only orient the four corners with the cardinal points/directions within 5 degrees, but also cause the spring equinox effect. You'd be kinda foolish. We would be hard-pressed to build something so impressive today. Some of the South American monolithic building blocks weigh over 400 tons. That's like 4 space shuttles fully loaded. We could probably recreate one of these structures, but it would be so massively expensive and require so much careful planning. It would cost hundreds of millions and require some of the most advanced lifting technology we can employ. How, exactly, did people without our advanced machines possibly do this? 400 tons. 800,000 pounds. 800,000. Is it possible it happened the other way around? Instead of building the pyramid to match the bird, maybe they heard the bird and realized it sounded a lot like their claps. That seems feasible as to why they would think the bird was a messenger too. This is true. Check out this video, https://youtube b/4b2ywam7rw, from YouTube. I went to Chichen Itza a few years back while on vacation in Mexico. Our tour guide showed us the echo and it still remains to be one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. Hearing it while you're there really makes you appreciate even more the hard work people put in to create their temples. Mind blown. And conversely, if you get the sacred Quetzal bird to call, it sounds like a human clapping. Yeah, they were incredibly smart. If anyone is interested in lost civilization, Graham Hancock has a very good series of books. This was the subject of one of my exam in physics. I still have my recording when I tested this out in person. It's truly amazing and sounds unreal the first few times. I only know about Quetzals because of the video game Ark, haha. So those big goofy ass birds are sacred, eh? I put a cannon on the back of my Quetzal. Pretty sacred now. The ancient world is full of these location-specific sound effects that act as a tool in continuing oral traditions and storytelling. I can't remember where, but I read about a cave that coincided with a story where the storyteller would move throughout the chambers and the resonances and reverberations were almost a character in the story. I should point out that these stories were sung and not spoken word. I'll edit this comment once I find the source. This is true, I recorded it. Can confirm. It sounds absolutely surreal. Quetzalcoatl is also a sweet summon in Final Fantasy. Maya were so based. Aztecs were dumb follow-up. They also create plumed archers, which IMO are the second best foot archers after rattan archers. All hail Quetzalcoatl. When we visited Chichen Itza we learned about this. It's rather funny walking up to the pyramid for the first time to see groups of people clapping at the pyramid and you have no idea why. You only hear the echo when you are standing in the location of the direction of the return sound. How? I can't help but think older generations weren't as shitty as we'd like to believe. I did this at Chichen Itza, spelled wrong I'm sure. Can confirm, have visited Chichen Itza and tried this for myself. It's really quite amazing to hear it in person. It's also annoying because you have 30 tour groups at a time walking around the place, all clapping like idiots trying to hear it, and the poor tour guide telling them to shut up, and it doesn't work like that. So all you can hear is a bunch really sweaty people whining away. Well, this is bullshit. WWHHHHYYYY, isn't it working? No wonder these guys died out. I actually heard all three of those. So in conclusion, if you're a respectful human being who can use a GPS, visit Chichen Itza and see for yourself. Avoid tour guides, they're full of sweaty dickheads, and people think humans couldn't have built the pyramids at Giza. The Mayan civilization is the first where members disappeared out of nowhere and historians can't figure out why. I suggest everyone visit Cancun post-pandemic, visit the Chichen Itza pyramid and swim in a cenote. I've been to Chichen Itza and it really works, it's surreal. How in the absolute hell did they figure that one out? Amazing, but dang. At Chichen Itza it sounds like a jaguar when you clap in front of it. I want to learn who built the city and pyramid of Teotihuacan in 100 BC that the Aztecs later stumbled upon. A Quetzal literally sounds like a puppy whining. I wish birds were still real. Half sarcastic and half serious question. When they had large ceremonies and the crowd applauds, does it end up getting bird crap all over everything from all the Quetzal birds that show up? University of Maryland has a few spots that do the same thing. Always fun watching freshmen walking around clapping until they hear it. It really makes you wonder what they knew of back then. What did those ancient peoples live through? Comparatively, what did ancient Egyptians live through? I actually went there last spring and the tour guide had us all clap in unison in front of it to make the sound. It was pretty cool to hear. How TF they know how to do that? Quetzals look like teeny tiny hohs.